Hey guys, it's YSA. I know it's been quite a minute, around 3 months, which is a really long time. Breaks are not too good. A lot of stuff's been happening, but I don't really want to do too many excuses. People want content. That's just how it is. So, as you can see from the title, I'm finally, after a long, long time, doing What If Deku was Katakuri's reincarnation. So, last off we left was the USJ, well, signing the papers to the USJ. So, everybody was able to go to the USJ. So, everybody's on the bus, and this is whenever Suyu Chan brings up the conversation. Who's the strongest as of right now? So, a lot of people, it's kind of mixed up towards Todoroki, Deku, and Bakuro, because a lot of their quirks could respawn. So like Bakugo, it's just a little conversation they had on the bus. Bakugo got a little heated. He screamed at some people for no reason. Then they got off the bus. So that's whenever they're in here, and Kirishima's like, dude, this is so manly. I mean, they even have fake heroes. And that's whenever Isaiah was like, back up, that's not. And then that's whenever like this big explosion, then the dudes come in, a whole bunch of his villains and all that. And before they can do much, they get teleported. So Tenya Ida couldn't make it in running away in this time, right? So they're stuck. So here's the groups. It would be like Deku, Suyu-chan, Mineta, but instead of just them three, it's Tenya Ida, right? So instead in the water, they're down by a really hot place. So it's really hot. So yeah. Anyways, Menez, he grabs the grapes off his head, and then he throws them, kind of put a blockage to give them some time to think. That's whenever Deku was like, alright, I think I can do this. So then that's whenever he grabs some rocks and flicks them really hard towards him, kind of like the jelly bean scene during the Whole Cake Island arc. Spoilers. But yeah, I said that way too late. I should have said that before. But anyways, he flicks them. He takes out about 3 or 7 of them. Then that's whenever the 4 rush in. Tenya Ida goes in for blast kicks, hit the dude inside of the head, knocked out Suyu-chan. Mineta comes up with the combo where Suyu-chan grabs Mineta by his throat. He puts out 2 hands of great balls. They spin around, smacking the dudes and hitting them on the ground. And then that's whenever Deku / Katakuri hits that baked dough missile jab, and he shoots off his arm, and it explodes on impact, right? And he goes back his arm. Anyways, they take care of that, and this is whenever. So as you know, All Might's not coming back, right? So Deku sees like all these things, and he sees like the heroes and the villains and the wrongs and the rights, and Deku's kind of questioning himself on if he should be a hero or not. So that's whenever All Might gets, not All Might, Endeavor instead of All Might gets called to the USJ. And you know how brutal All Might is. So Deku, it's even worse because he sees how just bad heroes can be. So based off of those facts, just Deku overall is questioning himself. So after the USJ is wrapped up, he goes in his dorm and he's thinking like, oh no, this doesn't feel right. So Deku leaves a note, and Deku decides to go on his own journey, being slightly an anti-hero. He doesn't really abide by the laws, but he still takes care of the villains, right? So I'll be like switching in and out of timelines, because I'll be switching during the timeline during the school. Like, it's the same timeline, but like areas / stories. So we'll be switching point of views. So to like the kids in the UA, right? And then Deku just over out here. So, um, whenever Deku, is just chilling, he was like, I think I should, go out for first villain, but before that, I should try to look a little bit menacing, because as of right now, he really only has the pink hair that Katakuri has and the pink eyes. Well, it's not entirely pink; it's more like a Magneta slash Violet, But he decides, okay, so he gets some tattoos, exactly like the ones that he has in the actual One Piece canon. So he goes out, and the first person he thinks is a villain is, of course, Saul. I think that's his name. The dude, oh my god, how can I not know this? The dude who's the anti-villain that, injured Ida's brother. So they indulge in a fight. And though Deku's strong, he only has his Do abilities. And he doesn't even know any type of hockey yet. And he mainly only knows like a few moves that are just not enough. So of course Saul slash Splinter, I don't know his name. Should really look this up. It just wipes the floor with him and ends up cutting Deku's mouth. Now it's not as bad as in, canon where it's more of like the top of his lip to the bottom of it. And he also gets one kind of close to his forehead, to his template. So this whenever Saul was like, oh shit, he was just trying to be like me. So he was like, I really don't like people like that. I don't really mentor or anything, but I think I should, help him out. So he takes Deku down to his lair and he, gives him some treatment, heals him up. So we're going to be switching over to UA. So Bakugo's like, we don't know him that much. Well, I do, but we should really go help out this nerd because he's still a good person. So Deku didn't really get to build the relationships that he had in canon. So they're not gonna be really too persuasive. And then manga spoilers, Ayama is a traitor, so this is more better for him. Anyways, switching back to Deku. He's healed up, he wakes up, and he sees Splinter right there, and he gets an attack, but he's like, hey, I don't want any problems, my bad. And, he strikes a proposal that they can kind of temporarily, maybe permanently work together. So Deku was like, I agree, I'm kind of rookie out here, don't know the ropes. So that's whenever, Saul teaches him some things. That's whenever Deku learns his awesome overall frightening observation, basically because of the fact that his training was so hard, even harder than what All Might did to him in canon. So he learns a little bit more moves and he becomes a little bit more creative with how he uses his powers slash quirk slash devil fruit. So they go out and this time Deku is, just chilling out here with, Splinter, and they see a group of villains. And of course they beat him up. Just simple and easy like that. But that's whenever Merkio comes in. It was like anti-heroes. You can't be doing this. They disagree, so then they indulge in a fight, which they give her a run for her money, but overall lose. They escape to the sewers because they don't have any other choice. And it helps them reflect on hey, I gotta get stronger. If I can't even hear the pro hero who's gonna be trying to be chasing me all the time, then I need to do something else. So then that's whenever Merkio goes to UA and reports that, hey, Deku's anti-villain now. And everybody's shocked, yo, bro was so, down on becoming a thing, So I'm gonna time skip all the way down to around the beginning of the second season when they go to the camp. So they run into another hero, and it's Endeavor. So they indulge in a fight, and they get really close. Endeavor overall kills Splinter. Yeah, or Saul. It feels so bad not knowing his name. He kills him, and Deku's pissed. So he gets his rage moment, and he just overall just completely blitzes Endeavor. No, Endeavor beats him. He does beat him up pretty bad, so he's not able to kill Deku in the end, and just for now has to flee, knowing that, hey, Deku's a threat and he needs to be eliminated immediately. So Deku, is kind of in the woods, and that's whenever, with the timeline slash areas stories coming into center point is whenever he hears the screams of Dobby's flames. So he decides to help out the UA students because, they're still students and he still wants to be a hero. He's just kind of doing it illegally. So he goes to the point with Toga. He completely demolishes her. Toga doesn't have a chance against Deku. So this is whenever he makes it down to the classroom where the dude who's really strong. God, I'm so bad at this. Oh God, I need to learn names. But he goes down there, and he actually does decently against Dobby. Though Dobby does beat him overall, Deku still did pretty good. I know Deku's getting beat up a lot, but he's still a kid. So, sorry, my bad. Deku recovers and decides to help out some more overall with the villain's fling. And instead of them taking Bakugo, they take Deku. Because, Deku kind of already has a criminal record. And it was like, hey, we might as well do it. It'll just make the whole situation so much easier. So they take Deku instead of, just regular Bakugo. So they trap him, and Deku's like, I'm not gonna lie with you, I really don't got nothing which I want to say. I don't even go to UA. I used to, but I don't. It's kind of weird. So he explains it, and they was like, bro is kind of strong. Dobby was like, yeah, I'm injured because of that little, just overall, insult. I don't want to say anything bad because I don't want anyone in the comments like, take your video down, you're getting canceled. But, yeah, they have him strapped up. Deku's just not cooperating at all. He was like, I ain't got nothing on me, so I really ain't got to worry about nothing. So then, that's whenever they start doing persuasions and stuff. And Deku's like, nah, I don't know. I don't think I could. And then that's whenever they bring his mom in. So, pretty much they're going to blackmail Deku into working with them. So, though Deku's like damn, this sucks, bro. This sucks. He doesn't want anything to happen to his mom, so he agrees. So, Deku is really gonna just train over the time. Him and Shigaraki are gonna butt heads. Kind of like a brother thing, because All For One has a liking to Deku, but he also has a liking to Shigaraki, so they're butting heads, but in a more kind of like friendly, competitive way. Anyways, though Deku didn't want to be a villain, he does understand to some extent Shigaraki, Toga, all their stories. He understands how things can happen, and it's not that he doesn't like them. He just doesn't agree with their motives and the motives, but they're not bad people. Some of them are, but he's still, Anyways, he learned hockey, observation, off peak. He just gets so much more moves and all that. So skipping ahead, really, really far to skipping around to, I would say like the war arc, but currently they're like really just chilling, and then that's whenever this stuff starts to happen, like Mirko trying to go in the thing, stop Shigaraki and the doctor. Sorry, I had a brain freeze, so my mom kept on calling me. But all that. Anyways, she of course doesn't do the mission. She gets injured, loses a few limbs. That's whenever the war arc happens. Now, in this one, All For One comes out way earlier than he originally does in the manga. Manga spoilers, but not too much, because I'm kind of making up the rest. Because I don't really know too much. Like, I haven't made this far in MHA. Because I'm not gonna lie, the fandom is it's not that they're bad, but like some of them just ruins the show for me. So I sometimes just really don't want to watch it. But it's not a bad anime. But anyways, All for One comes out earlier. They see Deku and they do fight Deku, and Deku kind of smacks them kids up and down to downtown. But this is whenever he realized, like, well, it don't matter. My mom's good. So he turns and he fights All for One. So in this fight, it's Bakugo, Todoroki, Deku, Kirishima, and Denki, Aizawa, and Endeavor. His All for One fused with Shigaraki. Manga spoilers. Not really. But anyways, they fuse and they become stronger. Now, in the end, this is how it's gonna go. Denki goes up for a charge. He charges up, blasts All for One. All for One kind of blocks it. Feels a little sting, but he doesn't really care. He goes up. He just straight Naruto Baryon mode. Sasuke retrieval arc. Combos that man in the air. Denji's out of there. Out for the count. Just too much damage to take. So bros, just rest in peace. Anyways. That's whenever Kirishima goes in hardening mode. And just they're just going crazy. And then that's whenever Deku and Deku charged up a missile jab. Todoroki charged up a really hot fire fist blast at that man All for One as Kirishima's just hitting him. Endeavor goes in for behind and hits a hellfire tornado. It's a tornado. And then that's whenever Deku gets like the spiky move. He grabs him, he slings him around, activates Hawking, and just slams that nigga. Slams him. I'm black, but come on. So he slams him, and it's just, they overall just going crazy. And they was like, oh, dude, this ain't working. So, yo, boy. It's your boy, Deku, awakens his quirk. Fast up. And just goes straight belugas. He's just blitzing All for One at the same time as Endeavor, Kirishima, and Todoroki are attacking him. Then Tenya Ida comes in. He just burst kicks him in his head. So All for One is starting to get overwhelmed. So he goes into a more bigger, buffer, stronger form. They kind of even it out now. But that's whenever Shigaraki's like, yo, bro, fam, you tricked me, cuz. Nah, I ain't letting this slide. So he starts trying to take over his body again. So this is weakening All for One. So he's like, damn, bro, this little bro, chill. He's like, nah, you tricked me, cuz. It's game over. It's too easy. So then Shigaraki also learns that, his grandma was an All for One user. So he was like, this ain't right. So, he wants to, like, fix himself. Like, he wants to fix it. So, boom, he starts to try to really take control of All for One. So then, at the same time, all these pro heroes, Mount Lady came over there, trying to stomp him. Bro, I'm kidding. Trying to stomp him. Mercure goes in there, blitzing. And then, overall, all one's just getting jumped. Like, bro, what can you do in that situation? Come on now. It's too easy. They just go crazy. So Deku hits the last with the super burst missile jab. It just slings that man All for One. And All for One felt that pain. And All for One was knocked out. So Deku asked the lady with the Hooba Jubas. She works on stuff, has pink hair, kind of dready, to make a device to take all his powers. And she does do it. It's put into a microchip, and then they destroy that microchip. Deku's redeemed. He becomes this pro hero, even though he's stirred, because they don't want to just straight off the bat put him as a number one pro hero, even though he technically could be. It's just the fact that, bro was kind of like wilding back in the day. He every now and then visits Saul/Splinter's grave, gives him thanks. He, trains every now and then, interacts with his fellow classmates. Let's skip ahead a little farther. He has kids, gets married. It's overall a good ending. There's not really much else I can go. Sorry if this felt a little rushed. I kind of like didn't know where to go from the vigilante part because of the fact that, I was like, I don't really know too much about the later seasons, so I didn't want to. And I also was going on my own storyline apart from the UA original storyline. So yeah, I really hope y'all liked the video. I know it's been a minute since I came out with the vid. Also, here's some announcements. I am coming out with way more what ifs. I'm so sorry for the long wait. Um, some what ifs that I'm not promising but could come out. Part two to Luffy, Kopi no Mi, part two of Akainu Naruto. Part two to the Thunderbird Luffy. Maybe a new Tokyo Revengers what if, part two to Hanma. All that. If you don't mind, like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell button. YSA out.